What if I told you the biggest reason your relationships keep falling apart isn't who you're choosing, but what you're expecting from them? And let me ask you something. Are you looking for a partner or are you looking for a parent? Because those two things are not even close to the same. And if you don't know the difference, you'll keep calling something love that slowly drains both people involved. Today, we're talking about something real. Not just how you love, but how you depend. Let's get started. Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and you can catch us on all your favorite platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can also listen to our episodes on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Podbean. Now, we want to hear from you, folks. If you're interested in being a guest or contributing, please reach out to us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. That's catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. Join the community today and be part of something truly transformative. Welcome to episode 147. Are you seeking a partner or a parent? Okay, so let's slow this down and unpack it, okay? What's the difference between a partner and a parent? Well, a partner stands beside you. A partner stabilizes you. A partner says, I'm here with you. A parent says, I'll carry you. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. A lot of adult relationships are quietly becoming parenting arrangements. Not on purpose, not because people are broken, but because many of us were never taught emotional responsibility. And emotional responsibility is simple, but not easy. It means your feelings are yours to manage. Let me repeat that. Your feelings are yours to manage. Not suppress, not to ignore, but own. So when that skill is missing, we start handing our emotions to someone else. Let me show you what that looks like in real life, okay? So as some of you know, I've actually transitioned back from working remotely to working in an office, and so I was talking with this girl. Let's call her Sarah, and she said, "I just want someone who makes me feel secure." That sounds healthy, right? Right? But then she said this: "I need constant reassurance, or I just start to spiral." And right there, that's the shift. That's not a partnership. That's emotional outsourcing. And listen, it's not her fault, because if you or her grew up feeling uncertain, unseen, or unstable, you don't just decide to be secure later. You search for someone. You search for someone who can regulate what you've never learned how to regulate yourself. But now here's where things start to get heavy, because there's a word for this pattern: codependency. And at its core, it looks like this, right? You sacrifice your need. You overgive. You need someone else to feel okay. Here's the trap. You don't feel loved unless someone is regulating you, and you don't feel stable unless someone is steadying you. And suddenly, you're not in a relationship. You're in emotional survival. And let's be honest for a second. That's a full-time job with absolutely terrible benefits. One of my favorite quotes comes from Brene Brown, where she says, "Vulnerability feels like truth and sounds like courage." But here's what people miss. Vulnerability isn't saying, "Take care of me." It's saying, "This is how I feel, and I'm responsible for what I do with it." That's the difference. That's the difference between connection and dependency. Does that make sense? Okay, well now let's flip the lens for a second, okay? I have a friend. Let's call him Mike. Right, good guy, always supportive. But one night he said, "You know, I feel like I'm always the strong one. I have to hold everything together." And you can hear it, the exhaustion, right? Because when one person needs to be a parent, or when one person needs a parent, the other person becomes one. And nobody signs up for that. Nobody. Unfortunately, I've taken that trip a few too many times. And it's one of the things that I'm working on avoiding. Because you sign up for a relationship. You don't sign up to become a parent. You're not there for that. You're there for a partner. You're there for someone who's going to be your peace and not your problem. Right? I mean, no one wakes up thinking, today I hope to get emotionally raised, by an adult, or I'm going to wake up today feeling like, hey, today's my day to be a babysitter, right? No one does that, but it happens. It happens slowly. So the question we have to ask is, why do we keep repeating this pattern? I mean, like, we see it's not healthy. It's not working for us. Why do we do it? Well, simple, because what feels familiar feels safe, even when it's not. I mean, if love used to feel like unpredictable, conditional, something you had to earn, then your brain learns that's what love is. So you recreate it, not consciously, but emotionally. Listen, you're not broken. Okay? You're not broken. It's a pattern, and you've been patterned. And here's something I really want you to hear. You can want a partner, but you can behave in a way that asks for a parent. And that, folks, that is misalignment. Absolute misalignment. So we want to break away. We want to be different. We want to take that step forward. We know we're in anger or shame or pain, but we're going to step anyway. We're going to step into the unknown. So the question is, and it's what I've been asking, what does a healthy relationship actually look like? And what is it? And, what are the signs? Like, how can I find it? Am I in one now? And I'm the one self-sabotaging? I mean, what is it? What does it look like? Well, a healthy partner listens without trying to fix you, supports you without trying to control you, loves you without trying to rescue you. And you feel your emotions. You understand your triggers. You communicate without blame. Because emotional responsibility doesn't say, I don't need anyone. It says, I'm responsible for me. And I choose you. I choose you. So, what the fuck do we do now, right? Right? So, what do you actually do with this, right? Okay, so here's an actionable exercise. No, I always give you one. So here's one, something simple that you can try today. It's called pause and translate. All right. It's called the pause and translate method. All right. If you're ready, get your notes and sticky notes and pens and papers and all that kind of stuff. Get ready, because here we go. Okay. So the next time you feel triggered, right, what I want you to do is this. You need to pause. You need to pause and you need to ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? All right. Step away, give yourself a moment and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Step 2, instead of you made me feel this. Say, I felt this and it triggered something in me. Right? Translate how you talk to yourself in a softer tone. I felt this and it triggered something inside of me. Okay. Step 3, take ownership. We've got to be accountable with ourselves, people. Take ownership. What part of this is yours? What part of this is mine? Own it. Own it. Step 4, communicate. Communicate clearly, communicate calmly, and do not blame. The fear of being in that much control is palpable because it has to deal with accountability. You're being accountable to yourself to control yourself in that situation. And it could be frightening, absolutely terrifying. The more we step out, just give it one more rep, one more step, one more sentence, whatever it is, just give it one more. Communicate calmly, clearly, and do not blame. All right, folks, there you go. So do this for me. Tonight, ask yourself, where am I expecting someone else to do emotional work that I need to learn to do for myself? Let me repeat that. Where am I expecting someone else to do emotional work that I need to learn to do myself? Sit with that. Think about it, right? Let us know what your thoughts are on it. You can email us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. That's catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what your thoughts are. We'd really love to hear from you, all right? So let's wrap this baby up, shall we? All right. Well, a partner will walk with you. A parent will carry you. And the quality of your relationships depend on which one you're asking for. So with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for listening to the Catalyst Motivation Podcast. If this episode hit home, share it with someone who might need that reminder that they're not alone. And as always, keep showing up because the world needs you. Please like and subscribe to our podcast for even more motivational content. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok for even more inspiration. And don't forget, I wrote a book. Yep. It's called The Ways of Compromise, and it's out. If you're looking for a read that pushes you to think differently about your decisions, your relationships, and the way you navigate tension, this might be the next book to add to your list, and I would sure appreciate it. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us for episode 147. We look forward to seeing you next time for episode 148, just too shy of 150 episodes. How about that? Go be great.